Today's video is sponsored by FinTab, which is an accounting system for cryptocurrency portfolios and hopes to develop into a much more extensive financial platform in the future. They're actually having their ICO right now, actually only 9 more hours and 30 minutes left until the end of their token sales, and only 16.5 million FinTab tokens will be issued. There's going to be demand reasons for the token, such as the actual use of the service, the burning of the tokens, and advertising functionalities. Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from TheRightTrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. In today's video, I'm going to cover some interesting crypto news as well as go over my normal schedule, which is RaiBlocks, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omisigo, Lisk, Cardano, and IOTA. All of those in a detailed technical analysis in that order on TradingView in just a second. Other than that, if you're interested in monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities or 5 high return cryptocurrencies for your 2018 portfolio, you can check out my premium content. I'll have a link to that in the description of this video. And just letting you know, I will be releasing one final buying opportunity for the month of January for the 4-month subscription. So definitely not too late to get in. And if you get in now, you will be, of course, getting all the buying opportunities for January. Now, if we take a look at Binance, you can start trading altcoins there. I have a link to them in the description as well, and make sure to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. So let's get started with what's going on with the general market. And we can see that Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple are all pulling back together here, down 4 to 6%. And what we're really seeing here is basically a bit of a pullback, right? Things started looking better. We were coming back up slowly but surely towards the highs, especially for things like Ethereum. And now we're seeing a little pullback. So nothing to worry about, I think, but definitely, the market is still somewhat shaky. I do think we're still going to slowly but steadily go back to where we were previously, but it's going to take a little bit of time, right? We can't really expect this to happen in one shot. And the market is definitely not as strong as it was, back in December, right? We definitely took a hit here, and we don't have the same type of strength as before. But I think this is just going to be a pretty short-term pullback, and not really anything major to worry about. But I would say look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple, and those ones seem to kind of lead the market as far as if the market is weak or strong, or if we're going to see a couple good days, a couple bad days. I'd say look towards these three. They really tend to lead the market right now. Now, as for some exceptions, Neo is doing really well here, up 8%, moving above $160. And we have a few that are popping in the green a little bit, but overall, we're definitely in the red on a lot of these cryptocurrencies. Now, for some interesting bit of news, RaiBlocks and a couple other cryptocurrencies were featured on CNBC during a segment. If I go ahead and take a look at the picture here, it's actually trending at the top of the cryptocurrency subreddit. We've got RaiBlocks, Stellar, Neo, Ripple, Ethereum, all of these that made kind of stealth moves since the 18th, the 18th of December. And what's interesting here is that RaiBlocks, got a lot of attention from this, but I think that it's pretty interesting, right? It's such a massive increase, and it was kind of a stealth move when you think about it. Same thing with Neo, Stellar as well. So definitely interesting there, and that's what made RaiBlocks jump up a little bit here. I'll show you in just a second on the chart. Neo also got a pretty nice bump from that, but this is just a short-term little boost. Nothing really to pay attention to, but it is nice to be featured on a mainstream platform like CNBC. Now, let's take a look at the technical analysis side of things, starting off with RaiBlocks. And just to show you on a bit of a longer-term perspective, we're in our consolidation right now in this range between 158,000 Satoshis and 179,000 Satoshis. And if we zoom in a little bit more, we can see what's happening right now. And if I'm going to get up really close here so you see what happened, because we were actually not doing great today. We were experiencing a bit of a downtrend, moving back to our support level over here at 158,000 Satoshis. And, near that area, that's when we got our CNBC coverage, which kind of helped spike the price up a little bit. And it's good that we're holding the support, right? That's what we want to see for now in the time being. That's all we need. Definitely the market is still a little bit shaky, so we can't expect it to go up right away. But as you can see, it tried to get back above the previous uptrend line and managed to do that very temporarily, then drop back below it. So Doesn't have the strength just yet to get back above that. It would be very good if it did get back above the uptrend line. So we're just going to have to wait and see if that happens. Otherwise, just expect a little bit more consolidation or maybe a bit of a horizontal increase towards the upside if the market allows it, right? You have to remember that a lot of these cryptocurrencies are kind of dependent on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe even Ripple to, I would say mainly Bitcoin and Ethereum really, to kind of lead the market, right, and to show some strength. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was able to get a little bit of a short-term uptrend going, and now it fell back below the uptrend line. So this isn't the best sign, to be honest. I'll go ahead and put in this new little short-term downtrend. As you can see, we're now forming a bit of a channel that's moving towards the downside, and the indicators are kind of weakening now. So we didn't get that positive crossover on the histogram, and now the RSI is flattening kind of on the orange line. So what that tells me is that we definitely could see the price maybe come back to $10,000 here if we stay in this channel, right? And if we want to avoid that, we'll just have to break out of the downtrend line. So we'll have to see if that happens, but for now, it is looking like we're going to pull back at least maybe towards 10,600, 10,500, potentially get a bounce there, or we're going to go back to $10,000, which really wouldn't be the best sign. Let's take a look at Ethereum. And Ethereum is definitely not as weak as Bitcoin in the sense that it's not that far away from its all-time highs, but it is now pulling back a little bit, and we can see that it's currently testing, maybe dipping a little bit below the uptrend line. So I just put in the downtrend line now, and we can see that we had a little bit of a symmetrical triangle formation, now moving towards the lower end of that. So we could maybe see a retest of that 10,094 level, 1,094 level, and we'll see. I think there's a pretty good chance that we get a bounce off that, and then maybe come back, test the downtrend, kind of trade along that a little bit in this triangle right over here. So that's what I expect for the next couple days. As far as the indicators, we kind of got a failed crossover on the MACD and histogram, unfortunately. So definitely something to pay attention to here, and we could see a little bit more weakness in the next couple days. So I'd definitely keep an eye out for that. Let's go ahead and take a look now at Ripple. So Ripple got a nice boost, but unfortunately that was bringing it up to the previous uptrend line, which it wasn't able to get back above, and now we're falling back to where we were previously, near $1.20. No real positive signals on the indicators, now all kind of looking kind of flat, maybe a little bit weak, so not much to say there. I'd say more consolidation between $1 and $1.50 for the time being until the market really finds a bit of strength. So NEO is one of the few exceptions today, and a couple things to point out here is just the fact in general that NEO has been really strong, and that's continuing today. What's interesting is certain cryptocurrencies that tend to do well when a lot of other cryptocurrencies are down, a lot of money just kind of pours into it just because it's the cryptocurrency that's doing good. And not to say that NEO is a bad cryptocurrency, but I do feel like it's getting a little bit of that. Now we're coming back and testing that resistance level near $167, and that's actually basically the final resistance before getting back to the all-time highs. Looks like we're pretty much crossing over above the orange line right now, about to go positive on the histogram and going back towards that 70 line on the RSI. So I think you can go either one of two ways here. Either we're going to kind of go against the market here and actually break back towards $180, break back towards the previous highs basically, or we're gonna start pulling back a little bit, maybe towards the uptrend line, or maybe even lose the uptrend line due to the market weakness surrounding NEO. And yeah, what I mean by that is, Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of taking a hit to drag all the other cryptocurrencies lower, because that does tend to happen. Let's take a look now at Vertcoin and see what Vertcoin is doing. So let's see, Vertcoin is actually not looking great here. The indicators were definitely looking better, but now we broke back below the uptrend line on the RSI, and we actually lost the uptrend line as far as the price goes, so we're now downtrending again. And we basically broke towards the downside of the symmetrical triangle right here, which is definitely not what we wanted to see. I was actually pretty hopeful that we were going to break above $5, but as you can see, the market is maybe not as strong as we thought, and now we might be moving, lower again, back towards $4, maybe even back to that $3.23 support level. So unfortunately, Vertcoin not looking great here and definitely taking a bit of a hit. Let's go ahead and take a look at Monero, see what Monero has been up to throughout all of this. So let's take a look. And Monero is also currently experiencing some weakness, breaking below the uptrend line and moving back towards that $300 support level. We can see that we tested that quite a few times, and what that tells me is that the more times you test a support level like that, the more likely it is to fail and actually fall below it. So we could start to see Monero fall back towards $257. And if we look at the indicators, definitely not looking very strong here, with the RSI dipping back below the downtrend line. And I think it's a real possibility that we go back towards that $257 support level. Let's go over and take a look at some of the other cryptocurrencies here. We're going to go over now to OmiseGo, and let's see what OmiseGo has been doing. So let's take a look. OmiseGo is kind of acting flat right now at around $17, hooking back over on the MACD, same thing on the histogram, and slowly but surely maybe moving higher on the RSI, but still pretty flat there. Now, what I see here is basically some consolidation here, I would say, for OmiseGo, which is actually better than certain cryptocurrencies, because better consolidate than to fall lower. And right now the consolidation is between $14 and $17 to $18 basically. So I expect that to probably continue unless we're able to get back above $18. Most likely we're going to see some consolidation here. We're finding a little bit of support on our downtrend line over here, our previous downtrend line. So just something to pay attention to here as we move forward. And let's go over to Lisk now, see what Lisk is doing. Let's see, I need to go over to Bittrex here, wrong exchange, sorry about that. And let's see. So Lisk is currently pulling back a little bit after testing that $25 mark. That's a pretty strong resistance level. We're now, trading below the middle band. That's at $23.62. And really, most likely here, we're going to move back towards $20. We'll see if we get a bounce off that. Slowly but surely trying to get a little bit of an uptrend going on the RSI. So we'll see if that's able to pick up some strength. But for now, the indicator is just kind of flat right now, to be honest. And let's take a look at Cardano, which is actually one of the cryptocurrencies that's been acting kind of weak, which is not, what we saw a while back where it was acting really strong and one of the strongest cryptocurrencies out there. Now it finally, took a bit of a breather and is really experiencing a bit of in the short term at least, a bit of a bearish period. So what we're seeing now is pretty consistent pattern, right, of, a little boost and then trickling down lower basically. And now for the third time testing this 5,125 Satoshi level, I do think that we're going to lose this support level and move back to 4,000 Satoshis, especially with the indicators downtrending here. Let's go ahead and take a look at IOTA for the final cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update. And IOTA is not acting that volatile right now, down slightly, still above the uptrend line, didn't manage to get back above that $2.63 resistance level though. Looks like it's trying to cross over above the orange line on the MACD, trying to go positive on the histogram. So definitely not acting as weak as other cryptocurrencies out there, but as long as we don't get back above $2.63, I'd say probably going to act, kind of flat here in this area. Basically consolidate between $1.91 and $2.63. Make sure to check out my premium content as always, and go follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.